alla quarta tappa del nostro viaggio.
And here we are on the fourth step of our little trip. And I have to say, Rodolphe, you've really entertained us with a lot of different BRP vehicles in a lot of interesting places. Mountains, snow, woods, waters, and then there were the cities and the twisty turns of the Apennines to end up here in Porto Venere and back to sailing. Rodolphe, I'm going to take you to see the Cinque Terre.
I'm ready. Shall we go?
Okay. NV Marine have made this 930 luxury model exclusively for BRP. It's a very sporty luxury maxi dinghy. There's the traditional sun deck at the bow, a cabin under the central bridge with a double bed and separate bathroom. The recess at the bow could be made into a second cabin by adding a mattress and a curtain to close it off. At the centre of the cockpit there's a mobile kitchen that has sink, hob, movable fridge and fold-away table. This boat offers more than the norm, thanks to its advanced construction, technically, and the fact that it has been made with high quality and long-lasting materials. This is the Gulf of La Spezia. Do you know it?
No, I've seen it from land, but never by sea.
It's a very quiet area because it's completely protected by the surrounding mountains, and then the island of Palmera, and there behind us is the island of Tino. Today, though, we're going off in a different direction. We're going to leave the Bosch area, this bit between Porto Venere and Palmera. We're leaving the Gulf of La Spezia. You can see the Porto Venere church there on the right, and left there's the island of Palmera. And in front, there's the open sea. The infusion method was used in the design of this boat, which has made it lighter by 30% in respect to equivalent models. But the main thing is that they reduced emissions by 95% when they were building it.
A very important point.
That is Rio Maggiore, the first town in the Five Terre if you leave from Levante. We get so close, there is a protected marina marked out by the boys. This is a pleasure boat, obviously, but it does have some characteristics that could show it to be a racing boat with a 600 horsepower engine, 6 kilo on average.
With 600 horsepower, I can believe it.
Let's see how long it takes to plane. Impressive. I've just counted to 3 and we're planing. Best cruising speed is between 20 and 26 knots. Like this, we've got about 280 miles. There are two Evinrude 300 horsepower engines, which have 6 electronic injection E-Tech cylinders. They're 3,441 cubic centered cylinders, but they only weigh 240 kilos, 50 less than the Meteor 4-cylinder competitor, which means the two engines weigh 100 kilos less, and probably, because it's lighter, it goes faster.
Let's see. Maurizio, only 38 knots? You scared?
Me? No. Hold on.
Yep.
Now we're really going to fly. 6,000 revs, 55 knots. Going to adjust the trim now. and start to raise the engines. You can feel how it comes up like a hydrofoil. But look at the perfect balance. It keeps its hold and it's easy to drive. 60 knots, look, and I can drive with only one hand. Fun, no?
Right.
Questa è Manarola.
There's Manarola. You can walk from there to the Rio Maggiore. It's a fantastic walk called the Via de Amore, the Walk of Love.
Guarda come si comporta questo battello in virata.
Look how this boat handles itself when you're turning. See how it swerves and bends.
Fa così perché la carena è molto profonda.
That happens because the hull is really deep, rather handy when you're up against the waves. Choppy seas, without bumps, just ride smoothly.
Questa carena è molto particolare, è stata disegnata con
The hull is quite unusual because it's been designed with 3 blades on every floor and has 2 centralized redans.
che hanno uno scopo ben preciso, quello di spezzare in 3 parti.
The redans are little cross steps with a clear purpose, to separate the hull into 3 areas. Each bit is shorter, so it doesn't resist so much. Less resistance means less gas burned and higher speeds. This is Cornelia.
A poco abbiamo 2 motori Evinrude.
At the stern, there are 2 Evinrude engines, tried and tested.
We invented the outboard engine.
And a long time ago, right? Maybe even more than 100 years ago, no?
Yep, look, Maurizio.
1909.
Questa è Vernazza. Oggi abbiamo fatto un percorso piuttosto breve perché
And there's Vernazza. It's just been a short trip today because we wanted to take in the countryside, and I wanted to try out how these Evinrudes performed. Rodolphe, you know, I miss the mountains a bit.
But Maurizio, you've still got one more vehicle to try out.
No.
What is this? And now Rodolphe. Where to next?
We're going to do a fun ride side by side.
Tune in to the next episode of BRP.